while we're getting ready, I just want to remind everyone, everything is being recorded because we do broadcast it live tonight. Mr. Vinton is actually out of his room doing it tonight.
Well, good evening, and everybody welcome. I want to call the meeting to order here a couple minutes late. We'll start with Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could have a roll call, please.
Mrs. Here. Mr. Klein is absent. Mr. Kochasik. Dr. Costo.
Here.
Mr. Leonard.
I am here.
Mr. Matarazzo.
Here.
Mr. Nemeth.
Here.
Mr. Petrucci.
Here.
Mr. Stovar.
Here.
We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Okay. Get organized a little bit here for a minute.
Where's number 7 at? Oh, I see Rachel Cross, okay.
Our next item is special reports, and Mr. Dallas Leonard, our IU representative, that being me, will give his special report first. The regular WIU board meeting was held June 28th, 2022 at the intermediate unit. The executive session was held from 5:45 until 7 o'clock, and at the executive session, the board discussed Act 93 employee salaries and benefits, Dr. Conway's contract with one more year to go, received school safety and security report from our consultants, reviewed some personnel changes under discussion, got an update on the ongoing negotiations with the teachers union. Then the regular open board meeting began at 7:20. No public note, no public comments. There were 10 board members present, 7 absent. We need 9 for quorum, so we were able to conduct business. The board approved 10 resignations. There were 5 teachers, 3 classroom assistants, and 2 miscellaneous. Board approved several family medical leaves, hired personnel for the 2022 extended school year program and several other personnel, approved a variety of contracts for various contracted services for the upcoming school year, set rates of pay for many personnel not covered by negotiated contracts. We approved a slate of various capital projects for the phase 1 of the 5-year capital project plan, approved various board members and staff to attend a variety of training and other types of conferences, approved the executive director's salary of $160,472 for the 2022-23 school year, plus various other salaries for administrative personnel, elected the board officers for the 2022-23 school year. I retained my position as the vice president, with myself being the lone dissenting vote. Started review process on several board policies. To assess the full board agenda and associated and documented information, you may visit the WIU website. The meeting was adjourned at the conclusion of business. The next meeting will be held at the 7 o'clock p.m. at the IU in the Fort Ligonier room on August 23rd. This concludes my report. And like I said, they're all detailed. There's a whole lot more to it than that. I try to summarize it because I guess it'd be a little boring if I went into all the details, but it's all available on their website. Their website's very complete. It has minutes, agendas, everything. So that'll all be available for any of you that really wanted to look at that. Okay, our next item would be Mr. Nick Petrucci, his report.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's nothing for me to report because we had no July meeting, and the June meeting, what I told you then was the last meeting we had, and our next meeting is going to be on the 4th, which is this Thursday, and school starts on the 29th, and summer cleanup, et cetera. And we did run the CDL program this summer, and also the motorcycle program. was also on site. So that's all I have to report.
Ms. Petrucci, we did, I know we ended last year with 120 students signed up for Career Tech, so
Yeah.
10% of the high school is actually gonna be at the Career Tech Center.
Oh, I didn't get the final figures yet.
Yeah.
That's it.
So I'll be anxious to see if it's still held up the way. I'll
Yeah,
check with
when I get the figures, our next meeting,
It's one of our highest percentages
Yeah.
we had in a long
Oh,
time.
yeah.
They've done a lot to promote the Career Tech. We started at the elementary, middle school presentations, so, and it's
Dr.
really
Harris,
important to get the.
that is all
involved.
your attitude, and I'm really glad because it is a great program for all the kids, and we have over 90% employment, and these kids are starting out $60,000-$70,000 a year. Some, all depends, of course, what field they're in, but, you know, there's a high demand, and it works very well. The CTC is a
We have an
training.
excellent program we're
Yeah.
very proud of.
Yeah. Thank you for your effort.
Thank you.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, and that is all encouraging to me also, because I've always been a big fan of vocational training. I have a good bit of vocational background myself, and actually nowadays, there's very good paying jobs in a lot of those fields that these youngsters are being trained for, and the success rate is big, and I'm surprised, I never heard it put that way, 10% of our
10%
student
when you
body.
think of the students
I
in high
never,
school.
I never heard it put that way. That's encouraging.
Plus, to be honest, the job market is, I've never seen a job market like this right now. I don't, it's, you know, when you see even like Sheets, $1.50 more an hour if you work, first of all, it's $17 an hour. Then if you work from 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., they give you an extra $1.50 an hour, just so you can get people to work night shift. And it's, the job market, you see every place you go, you see now hiring. It's, I never seen, I'm the oldest person in this room right now, and I never seen employment like this.
And I believe it's only gonna get better.
I,
That would be what it looks like. Okay, so prior to this meeting, we had an executive session, and we had discussed quite a few personnel confidential items. That took up the majority of it, and then we had discussion on school security and safety. We had a report, and that also is confidential. And that concludes my announcement for the executive session. Now, I will turn the meeting over to Dr. Harris for his information.
Sure. Got a lot to report with school 24 days away. First day of school is August 25th. The bus postcards, as we mail out, will take place on August 15th. We will be mailing them out so you can find out your child's bus. Power School opens up so everyone can see their class scheduling on August 11th at 4 o'clock. We have an update on the summer projects. We were very busy this summer. Things we tackled were bleacher inspections at all schools, fire alarm inspections at all the schools, playground inspections at all the schools. The high school pool had work done to it. The gym floors, the high school and the 2 middle schools were taken care of. We had 19 areas throughout the district, either got new carpeting and towel based on need. We had a new dishwasher, and I say dishwasher, this is one of these contractor-style dishwashers at Level Green. It's not just a basic dishwasher for all the lunchroom down there. The flashing school lights, we actually had to update the lights across the district, and we had to take care of some of the poles, and those are the flashing lights you see when we have to tell you, like, for school bus safety, so everyone slows down for that. Concrete work was done in all the areas of throughout the whole school district. The roof, and this is the only one that's not going to be finished before school starts at McCullough. We just wanted to bring that to everyone's attention. But it started, as you know, it started the very first day school was out, the day after Memorial Day, and it was scheduled to be done before the school starts, but now they're giving us a date of September 2nd. So, but once the kids are there won't be any asphalt poured until after 3 o'clock, or once the kids are out. So this way we're not worried about the fumes, the smells, or the odors. So they will do that, but that's gonna not be done until then, unfortunately.
All the equipment in the parking lot will be, so the cars and buses can get through.
Perfect, because if you drive by now, you can take it right through McCullough, you'll see what I mean. Penn Middle School had all their locker room showers and ceiling in that area replaced. We had lots patched and ceiling done at each building except for Sunrise, 'cause I believe that was done prior. And McCullough, we're gonna have to wait till the roof project's done before we seal the lot. We fixed the high school wall cracking between rooms 224 and 225, so those teachers and students will be very happy that that's done. We had canopy painting completed at Sunrise and McCullough. We had the baseball fence and left field standing water issue taken care of, and if you leave, you notice that the fence is up for the baseball field up front. Summer cleaning, all the schools, everyone worked very hard, and tomorrow they're going to do the yearly custodial training, which is great because they go over all the different rules and regulations regarding chemicals, things we need to do, extra measures for safety, and throughout the year they're required to do all this training, so that's all going to be done tomorrow. I'm going to turn over my information for a couple topics for Mr. Ingles.
Thank you, Dr. Harris. I have a couple of items. Our health and safety plan will need to be revised. We're supposed to do that every 6 months, and it's due to be updated in August. But quite frankly, there's not a whole lot of changes to it. Once we got out of some of the big pandemic issues in December, the masking and whatnot, things did settle down here with the cases and everything that happened with COVID. So we hope to have a real good school year without any COVID issues, but obviously we're ready for them if they come. One of the biggest changes I think that in our health and safety plan will simply be that we will not be quarantining any close contacts, or I should say investigating close contacts in the quarantine room. If you do have a positive case, if you're COVID positive, you'll be quarantined for 5 days because you actually have the virus. So students, staff will stay home for 5 days, and then again, we're just not going to look into the close contact situation
And the quarantine was actually optional after December anyhow last.
Quarantine was optional. Yeah, all we did was we made it optional. It was optional in December. You're right, Dr. Harris. So like I said, there's not a whole lot that's changed. We're just not going to do any investigating close contacts and notifying people that you were a close contact. That's a better way of putting it. So.
And I think all the districts in Westmoreland County were pretty much the same.
Yeah.
You attended that one meeting.
Yeah. We did a survey with all the county school districts, and everybody's indicated they're not doing contact tracing. So.
Okay.
Hopefully we're out of the woods, but again, we can always make changes if things develop and things get worse, but we hope that we're out of the woods with that. Next item is coding. We're implementing coding, code.org curriculum in our first and second grade classrooms next year. We had training a week or two ago. It had probably about 40-some teachers there in first grade, second grade. We also had our middle school teachers, our computer science teachers, and our STEM teachers who did the training for code.org. We're trying to implement more of that analytical thinking and problem-solving skills at an early age. And the coding is really a great way to start that process and get kids interested in some of this computer science. There's a lot of career opportunities when the kids get older, but that's not necessarily the motive. It's, again, to really get these kids to think differently and problem solve and really look at things in a different way. And we hope that will transfer over to science, math, social studies, ELA, or those other areas. So we're looking forward to that program. We'll see how it goes. It is going to be taught in first and second grade once a week, and it's also going to be implemented, enhanced, I should say, more so in our middle school computer science and STEM classes. And the last item I want to mention is we are going to ask the board to approve 2 things, a feasibility study and a demographic study. If you've been in the district long enough, you'll know that our buildings are very old. Our youngest building is the one you're in right now, and it's 51 years old, so our buildings are very old, and we have to look at the long-term viability of the buildings and what we can and can't do with them and what their outlook will be in the next 5, 10, 20 years. So we're going to contract an architectural firm to look at the buildings, really analyze what's going on in each of those buildings. Is there a better way to utilize them? Should we be consolidating buildings? Should we close buildings? Should we add buildings? Should we build new? Do we need to draw different lines in different areas? So that process needs to start by a really professional study on those issues and look at the demographics as well. So there's 2 parts of it. There's an architectural side, which is going to look at the buildings and the feasibility of the buildings themselves, and then we have to do the demographic study to look at how many kids potentially will be in the district in different locations in different parts of the district, so we can plan accordingly. So we are going to ask the board to approve 2 studies, the feasibility study, which is $18,000, and a demographic study, which is $18,600 or $700. I may be off by 100, but basically about $37,000 to do those studies. So we're going to get that process started, and hopefully we'll be able to get some information back to you. Get some information within 6 months to a year. I think some of that information will be back to us. So we'll see how that goes. Any questions on the feasibility study, demographic study, or coding, anything? Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Scott. Fall sports, football starts on the 8th, and all the other sports start on the 15th of August. Summer band camp began last week, and it's gonna occur all this week as well. Senior parking today open, so seniors, please register by Wednesday if you want the first crack at it, because you get first dibs on it. I know that's coveted, those spots. Pairs, we still need pairs, PCAs for the upcoming school year. If you're interested, please contact Peggy, Julianne, and Human Resources. If you know of anyone who's interested, please let them know. In addition to the pairs, Aramark also needs 4 different lunchroom workers if you want to work in the cafeteria. If you know someone out there who wants a job just during the day because there's just a couple hours either at breakfast or lunch, we are in need of 4 people still, but we will find them. Deer Valley, as you know, we did not go the last 2 years, so we sent out our annual notice for grade 5 in May, and a month later, maybe even a month and a half later, I think we just sent it out for grades 6 and 7. So this year, we were going for 3 different weeks. We're gonna take the 5th graders, as we always do, and we're also gonna go once in 6th grade and once in 7th grade, because everybody who missed it, they're gonna get to go. So, because we already feel bad that they missed their trip, because this is something Penn Trafford does every year. And I know the board was very disappointed when we couldn't go the last 2 years, but we wanted to make sure that everyone gets a chance to go. So, but after this year, 6th and 7th grade will no longer go again. It will just still be 5th grade. So we're just doing the 1 year to make it. So I might be gone for like 3 weeks this year, because we need a lot of people to come and volunteer. So we will be sending out some information to staff about signing up, because it's needed. It's such a benefit for the children, and I don't want anyone to miss that opportunity. And finally, just as a reminder, we will be sending out the back-to-school prospectus before school starts to have more updates on goals, different things happening at the schools, new staff, which will be hired later tonight, and different things about Penn Trafford that makes us very successful. And I would normally turn it back to Mr. Leonard for recognition of visitors, but we do not have any tonight. So I'm going to continue going for next week. We're going to ask you to approve under athletics and extracurricular to employ a fall athletic year-round extracurricular personnel, approve volunteer coaches, approve the FBLA trip. Under budget and finances, we're going to ask you to approve contribution to area libraries, award bid for diesel fuel. Under buildings, grounds, and safety, we're going to ask you to approve custodian. Oh, was that the health and safety? Oh, I have it. Yeah, approve substitute custodians, approve feasibility and demographic studies, and approve the health and safety plan. Under employees, relations, negotiations, transportation, we're going to ask you to approve bus drivers and monitors. Under food service, we're going to ask you to approve cafeteria personnel, adopt a free and reduced lunch program resolution, approve milk supplier. I do want to make a comment that the last year of our elementary school and middle school was still, all the students were considered free because of the state. That is no longer in effect. So it goes back that if you do need to qualify for free or reduced lunch, you have to actually fill out the forms. So that is one change. And that came from the state that did that. It's not a district decision. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Petrucci now, because we have an action item for A for personnel.
Okay, I'm going to go through all of them, Dr. Harris. Move to employ the following personnel, new employment contingent upon the receipt of all necessary documentation and acceptance of Act 34, 151, and 114 waivers from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania within 30 days. Taylor Berardi, math teacher at Penn Trafford High School, effective August 19th this year, at an annual salary of $43,300. Taylor Oberdorf is any relation to Jim Alcorn? Oberdorf?
No, but I know who that is.
You know who it is?
Yes.
Okay, it's Jeannie?
That is, I don't, is that his wife?
Jeannie Oberdorf?
Daughter. That's a
Am I got that wrong?
That's the daughter.
That's a daughter.
Yeah.
Okay, this girl here is Jeannie's daughter? No.
This is Scott.
No, Danny Girl, I'm sorry. I've had a Taylor goes both ways anymore, I'm sorry. And I don't mean anything offensive to that. Okay, do you know Jeannie Obrador?
That doesn't sound familiar. I know Jim Alcorn.
Yeah, that's Jim Alcorn's daughter.
Oh.
They're married to Obrador. Remember Jeannie?
Yes.
She set the school record for girls in basketball. Okay, English teacher at Penn Middle School, effective August 19th, 2022, annual salary of $45,101, step 3B. Brittany Manupelli, good name. English teacher at Penn Trafford High School, effective August 19th, 2022, annual salary of $43,300, step 1B. Joshua Wood, special education teacher at Penn Trafford High School, effective August 19th, 2022, annual salary of $47,637, step 4M. Bethany Falk, school counselor at Penn Middle School, effective August 19th, 2022, annual salary of $47,367, step 4M. And then next, this young lady we just interviewed tonight, Dr. Denise Kubasek, as Director of Student Services, that salary of $120,000, effective August 2nd, tomorrow, 2022. And also Rachel Kraus, school psychologist, 210 days as district-wide, effective August 2nd, 2022, an annual salary of $56,000. Need a second.
Second?
Question?
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries.
That's all I have, Mr. President.
All right, I'm going to just take a minute and just have them briefly, just briefly walk up to the mic and introduce yourself. And I'll say a couple of things about you for your background and experience. And it's just going to go in the order that they approved you. So Taylor, you were first. Taylor Berardi. And Taylor actually spent the last year with us. She was a fellow from the St. Vincent program. We had a lot of St. Vincent hires this past school year, from the very first meeting in June, and we have a couple here tonight. So we're very pleased to have Taylor. Taylor, is there anything you want to share about yourself, or?
Hi, my name's Taylor. I've wanted to be a math teacher my whole life, and I'm super excited to continue working with the students here. Saw some great things last year, and I'm excited for it to continue.
We appreciate hiring one of our fellows because you know exactly who you're getting when they come into the door. So Taylor's very excited when she got the job, and she's still smiling. So
Yeah,
we're
she
very
is
happy to
smiling.
have her.
We're throwing her to the wolves. We're making her teach algebra, which is a tested keystone subject.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about that.
Yeah.
But we all know you can do it, or we want to put you
We
there.
wouldn't put you there if we didn't think you'd do it.
4 out of the 6.
All right, next up, we have Taylor Oberdorf, and he's actually was from Hollidaysburg the last couple of school years. And I do know for a fact that he's also a Clarion grad, which was where me and Scott graduated from, so I'm partial to my Clarion teachers.
Yeah, so I am. I did go to college at Clarion. Like Dr. Harris said, I am from. I taught the last 2 years at Hollidaysburg, and I'm excited to join Penn Trafford. Being from the area, I'm originally from Leechburg, Pennsylvania. Being from the area, I've heard nothing but good things about Penn Trafford, and I'm really looking forward to being a part of the team here. So thank you for the opportunity.
And you'll be at Penn Middle, and we're very lucky to have you there.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
Where'd
that.
you go to college?
Clarion.
Oh, no.
And I'm in graduate school through Slippery Rock right now. So my rivals, they're in graduate school through Slippery Rock. So kind of two things going on there. But yes, I went to Clarion.
I know the students were very impressed with you for the teaching lesson, so thank you.
I appreciate that. Thank you. They were a great group. Thank you.
Next, we have Brittany Manupelli. She's going to be the English teacher at the high school. Brittany was a substitute teacher for Penn Trafford. You also taught our summer learning camp for 2 different summers, and you did a long-term job at Jeanette School District as well as a substitute. And I heard a lot of good things from you tonight, and even when we hired Denise, I said, well, you're going to have 2 other people from Jeanette there, and I said who they were, and she was, oh, you're very lucky. So I'm having 3 people from Jeanette tonight being hired.
Oh, good. Good.
Brittany,
Represent.
do you have anything you want to share about it, or some excitement are coming up, or?
I mean, after recently graduating from St. Vincent and getting a job right away, that's really exciting. I'm also a dog mom. I'm obsessed with my dogs more than anything else in the world, and I'm also planning a wedding right now, so it'll be Miss Falk here soon in October.
And your husband's actually one of the, he went through our CWCTC program?
He did. He works at Jim Shorkey, so he works with the students, and they help train students on site to prep them for working on cars.
And he's alumni of Penn Trafford, right?
Yes.
And I know-
What's your last name gonna be?
Falk.
Falk.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, geez.
A-L-K, not with a U. Okay, so this is spelled just a little bit different.
Okay.
Where'd you go to high school?
Franklin Regional.
Well, congratulations and welcome to the Penn Trafford team.
All right, thank you.
Welcome back, I should say. Peggy said it was very easy to hire because you did sub for us, so
Yeah, thank you.
she appreciated that paperwork. Joshua Wood, he's actually coming to us from the Pittsburgh Public School District, and he was a Pitt student, Pitt graduate?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably giving too much of your bio. You probably
No,
wouldn't share.
I'm really excited to join the team, both district and school-wide. It seems like a really strong community, and I'm just really looking forward to being a part of it.
Which school were you at Pittsburgh?
I was at Oliver Citywide Academy.
Okay. And you worked with, and there was a high school?
It was a fully special education school, so it was 3 to 12. I worked with the high school students, but we did go down to 3rd grade. But I was specifically with 9th and 10th.
Okay. And we're lucky to have you at the high school this year.
Thank you.
I think you're actually in one of the English classes over there. I was looking at the schedule. Next, we have Bethany Falk, and this is F-A-U-L-K.
Yes.
We are going to have some confusion with that. And Bethany is actually from Jeanette School District, and she's going to be our school counselor at Penn Middle School.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for having me here tonight. I'm very excited to be here. I think I gained a lot of experience at Jeanette, and I'm excited to bring that here to Penn Trafford. I'm very excited to be a part of the Penn Trafford School District. So thank you for having me.
We're glad to have you. And did you already start at Penn Middle, or?
Yeah, I've been in and out, and I wanted to make the comment, I've been in and out of the school. Everyone's been wonderful. Any person that I've interacted with, even through the interviews, has been amazing. It's been a great process.
Well, great school district. You came highly recommended from your district. They were sorry to see you go. And our guidance counselors, they play such an important role in everything you do. So we wish you luck, because we really need someone to go in and take charge. That's why we really look for someone with experience for that role. So
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm looking forward to supporting the kids, the teachers, and the district in any way that I can.
Hopefully you didn't graduate from Clarion, did you?
I didn't.
Okay, good. Where'd
I went
you-
to Penn State.
All right.
yeah.
Thank you.
I seem to have a lot of Clarion and St. Vincent this year. So
Yes.
the last 2 years, actually. We very lucky to have a special student service. I keep calling it different, but the director of student services, Mr. Carazia, is actually leaving at the end of November, or about November 11th. So we wanted to hire his replacement a little bit sooner, so they would have enough transition time, and then she can end some time at her previous school district. But we were very lucky to hire tonight Dr. Denise Kupastek. So come on up.
You're officially a doctor now, right?
I am.
All right.
Yes, I am. Thank you. Thank you for taking the time to interview me earlier. I'm taking the credit for all Bethany's experience at Jeanette. No, I'm just kidding. But I don't want to be Mr. Jones at this point, getting this phone call, taking 3 staff members from Jeanette. But I'm very grateful for this opportunity. I think I can bring a lot to the district that I have gained throughout my experience. And I'm looking forward to working with all the administration and all the building and special education teachers. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
One question for you. Sure. Would I be gathering this data together properly? You were her boss last year at Jeanette, and you're gonna be her boss this year at Penn Trafford.
Informally her boss, yes. At Jeanette, actually, I wasn't her direct supervisor, but yes, I'll continue to supervise her again this here at Penn
Maybe I
Trafford.
use that term loosely, supervise. Thank you.
Sure.
And finally, we're very lucky because I know the board approved us to have extra school psychologists, because this is a position we actually needed a great deal last year. And now we're going to actually have 3 school psychologists, and it's Rachel Krause. And Rachel actually got a lot of experience with Penn Trafford because she interned. Were you here all last year, or you was here the whole entire year?
I think.
Yes, I completed it was 1,600 hours that I was here last year.
Penn Trafford. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, I'm excited to be back. Yeah, I'm excited to get back in there. I've missed not being here this summer, so thank you all for having me.
And which school did you went to?
I did my undergraduate at Grove City College, and I'm currently almost done with my doctorate at IUP.
IUP.
So, yeah.
Yes, well, congratulations, and we're very lucky to have you back.
Thanks.
So, and we only have about 1 minute left for a meeting, so I'm going to ask you to stay because Colleen's going to do a picture for the press. And then you just briefly just thank the school board at the end of the meeting, or just introduce yourself personally. So we're almost done. Next week, under 11, we're going to have other action items to designate official raters, approve teacher assignments, approve student handbooks, approve substitute teachers and support personnel, approve personnel agenda, issue professional contracts. Under Policy, Public Relations, Legislative Title II, we're going to ask you to tentatively approve board policies and administration regulations. Under Taxes, Insurance, and Census, we're going to ask you to award athletic sports insurance and award student accident insurance. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Leonard for adjournment.
Is there anybody else has any further comments from the board? Anybody need to have a last statement or so? Anybody we overlooked? Hearing none, we will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion for adjournment.
We have a motion. Second. We have a motion and a second. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay.